let this be your wake-up call, sis, because you discount and disrespect your future self anytime you make a decision to stay with a man who does not value you. Hey love, Franca here. So I heard you've been in bed, you've been regretting, you've not eaten, and you're even crying over a guy that has shown you shaggy. Oh goodness, like, come of it, okay? I need you to understand that it is not because you can't live without them. It is because you are obsessively attached. And at the root of this attachment is a secret fantasy of a life that you wish you could have with him, which you are not willing to let go. And that is why you keep going back over and over again to a guy who keeps pushing you away and showing you with his actions that you are just an option. I don't know you personally, but if you are at a place where you're finding it extremely difficult to let go of someone, it's okay. It's okay to have attachment. It's okay to have feelings because we are humans. It's okay to love someone so deeply, but you don't have to let that love continually disgrace you and ruin your life. No, if I should be in that situation again, here is what I am going to do first. The first thing is to find a focal point. This works like magic, sis. See, love, they say, hurts, but it's not always true. It's not even true. Love is not supposed to hurt. And although there are times that we have to make sacrifices and compromise for peace to prevail in a relationship, that doesn't include ditching your dignity. So if someone is giving you a tough time, but you're finding it difficult to let go of that person, all you have to do is to find a focal point. And the focal point is going to be the reason why you think they don't deserve you. And if you still cannot find a reason, let me give you an example. So I was with this guy who made me realize that I wasn't his priority. I was just an option. I was just an option. He posted everybody, but not me. He had pictures of his ex all over his social media. And to make matters worse, he couldn't even tell his parents about me. You could imagine the pain I went through with this kind of picture that I just painted. And so I would be a very foolish woman to let someone who is ashamed of me keep having access to me. And this does not make you a bitter woman. It only shows that you respect yourself. Because if you love and respect yourself, you would not keep going back to a place where you are not valued. And the reason you keep going back is because you desperately want them to fill a spot in your life which you're supposed to fill by yourself. Your focal point might be different from mine, but at the end of the day, we have one thing in common. And that is learning to walk away from people who no longer serve us. It might not even be you breaking up with a man, but if you want him to respect you, you can't keep giving him benefits that he does not deserve. You can't keep throwing yourself at him at the slightest signal and expect him to value you. Committing to your focal point is simply an act of love that you're showing yourself. You having a focal point and going through with it is simply you psyching yourself that you don't have to throw your dignity to dogs. Next thing you're going to do is to kill that hope and expectation before it kills you. So I always talk about the fact that I was raised in both my nuclear and extended families. But then I spent majority of the time with my grandmother. And in as much as I love my grandmother, I love her to death. I would give anything for her. One thing I didn't like about her was the fact that she was too merciful. She would be like, it's okay, forgive him, he will change. And that was how a lot of us ended up in relationships and marriages that we were not even supposed to have anything to do with in the first place. The thing about hoping and expecting someone to change is that hope is slowly going to drag you and drown you in a ditch of regrets. And if you don't take care, you're forever going to blame yourself for not leaving when you should have left. If a man doesn't see any reason why he needs to do better for you, then what makes you think that he's going to change now that you've made him comfortable and giving him the impression that for you anything goes? I don't know where I heard this, but I learned guys have this mentality that a woman who loves you would tolerate anything. Because you tolerated all the shaggy and giving him the impression that you cannot live without him, he's going to use your fantasies against you. He will use your desire for him to his advantage. He knows that no matter what, you're going to stay, hang around and nag him to change. And he will promise you he will change, but he will never change. And that hope and expectation you've been holding on to for him to do better will only kill you, sis. Instead of you to sleep in bed crying and regretting the fact that they've been used, get up, because I need you to understand that you are the one who trained yourself to love this guy, and it can equally train your heart to detach and not love him anymore. You have a lot of inner work to do, and so you better get up and start doing it right now. You don't have to force a man to love you in a way that he's not willing to, okay? hoping that one day he might meet your expectations. Since that hope is too expensive, this hope is going to waste a lot of time of yours that you can never get back. Sometimes you just have to admit that some people are not meant for you. Just because you guys were happy at a time doesn't mean you were supposed to be happy forever. It happens, and so you need to move on. Stop hoping that something better will happen. You need to know when to quit a relationship and when to hang on. Sometimes hanging on is not useful. Now, let me clarify myself before somebody misinterprets me. It's one thing to patiently work your way through rough patches with a man, because no relationship is a bed of roses. But when it gets to a point where the quality of your life starts deteriorating, you need to let go of that relationship before it takes your life from you. Next thing I want you to do is for you to realize that it is your life that is wasting away. Maybe by this time he has even moved on to somebody else already. And so you have to make the decision to either get stuck at this one place of pain or gather the courage to start afresh. Once you get to a place in a relationship where you keep wondering over and over why this guy has not changed, why he keeps treating you and hurting your feelings, although you keep telling him how you felt, then you should know that it is not a battle you have to keep fighting. He made that decision to live in a way that pleased him. And so you equally have the right to make a decision that puts you in a happy position. You have to weigh your choices and ask yourself whether your life is worth wasting around someone who is not on the same page as you. Do you want to keep marking time and keep making excuses for someone who would not even think twice about walking away from you? Because the fact that you keep making excuses for him is an indication that you don't see yourself and your feelings as something that matters. And that is why you're okay with him not making any efforts to make things right. Frankly speaking, nobody deserves to feel small. Nobody deserves to feel like they don't matter. Nobody deserves to have their feelings minimized and ignored. Let this be your wake-up call, sis, because you discount and disrespect your future self anytime you make a decision to stay with a man who does not value you. You can never start living your best life until you decenter men and win yourself off that gaze for male validation, guys. If you want to live your best life, if you want to start this journey, then click this playlist next. Until I see you there, take care of yourself, alright? Live your best life, sis, because I am rooting for you. Bye-bye.